Why do some drugs behave nicely while others suddenly turn dangerous with a small dose increase? The answer lies in how the body eliminates them. Some drugs follow first order kinetics while others follow zero order kinetics, and this difference completely changes how safe or risky a drug can be. In this video, we'll clearly understand first order and zero order elimination and why this concept matters so much in real clinical practice. Let's discuss this with an example. Imagine a water tank with a small hole at the bottom from which water is leaking. It is obvious that when the tank is full, or in other words, when there is more water inside, the water gushes out rapidly because the pressure is high. As the water level falls and the tank becomes half full, the leakage becomes slower. And finally, when the tank is almost empty, only a few drops come out. So, as the amount of water in the tank decreases, the rate at which water leaks out also decreases. In the second example, imagine a security guard standing at an exit who allows only 10 people to leave per minute. It does not matter whether there are 100 people inside or 10,000 people inside. The rate of exit remains fixed. As a result, the rate of exit is fixed and independent of the number of people inside. So what do we learn from these examples? In the leaking tank, the more water inside, the faster it flows out. For instance, suppose a tank with 100 liters of water reduces to 50 liters in 4 hours. Now, as the amount of water in the tank decreases, the outflow also slows down. Because of this, when the water further reduces from 50 liters to 25 liters, it again takes the same 4 hours. So, even though the quantity of water is smaller, the reduced outflow results in equal time intervals, from 100 to 50 liters and from 50 to 25 liters. And in the second example, because only 10 people are allowed to exit per minute, the rate of outflow is fixed. Now, suppose there are 100 people inside. To remove 50 people at a rate of 10 per minute, it will take 5 minutes, and to remove 25 people from 50, it takes only 2.5 minutes. And to remove 12 people, it takes even less time. Thus, unlike the leaking tank, here the rate is constant, and the time taken depends on how many people need to exit. As is clear from these examples, in the security guard scenario, only 10 people are allowed to leave, and it does not matter how many people are inside. Because the outflow is fixed, the elimination pathway here is saturated, meaning it cannot go any faster, as it is already working at full capacity. In contrast, in the leaking tank example, the system automatically adjusts according to the amount of water present inside. As the water level changes, the rate of outflow also changes. Therefore, in this case, the elimination pathway is not saturated. So, the water tank example represents first order kinetics, where the body removes the same fraction or percentage of the drug over time. More the drug, the faster it is eliminated. As the drug amount falls, the rate of elimination also slows down proportionally. For example, if 100 milligrams of a drug is present and 10% is eliminated per hour, then in the first hour, 10 milligrams is removed. In the next hour, when 90 milligrams remains, only 9 milligrams is eliminated. Thus, although the amount of drug removed keeps changing, the fraction or percentage eliminated per unit time remains constant. In this situation, the half-life remains constant. Just as a full water tank becomes half empty in 4 hours and then again takes the same 4 hours to reduce to half of the remaining volume, the same principle applies to first-order drug elimination. If 10% of a drug is eliminated per hour, starting with 100 milligrams, the amount falls to 50 milligrams in about 5 hours. From 50 milligrams, it again takes 5 hours to reach 25 milligrams, and from 25 milligrams to 12.5 milligrams, once more the same 5 hours are required. So, Although the amount of drug eliminated in each interval keeps changing, the time required to reduce the drug level by half does not change. And the second example explains zero-order kinetics, where a fixed number of people can exit per minute. In the same way, a fixed amount of drug is eliminated per unit time. If the body removes 10 milligrams per hour, then whether the drug level is 100 milligrams or 1000 milligrams, only 10 milligrams is eliminated each hour. Thus, unlike first-order kinetics, the rate of elimination here is constant and does not depend on how much drug is present. In this case, the half-life is not constant. Just as the security guard removes only 10 people per minute, it naturally takes longer to remove 50 people than to remove 25. Applying the same logic to zero-order kinetics, if we start with 100 milligrams of a drug and the body removes 10 milligrams per hour, then to reach half of the initial amount, that is 50 milligrams, a total of 50 milligrams must be eliminated, which takes 5 hours. Now, to reduce the level by half again, from 50 milligrams to 25 milligrams, only 25 milligrams needs to be removed. So this takes just 2.5 hours. So, we can clearly see that at different drug concentrations, the time required to reduce the drug level by half is not the same. That is why, in zero-order kinetics, the half-life is not constant. As we discussed, in first-order kinetics, the speed of elimination changes depending on the concentration of the drug. When the drug level is high, elimination is faster, and as the level falls, elimination slows down. Because of this adaptability, the elimination pathway is not saturated. In contrast, in zero-order kinetics, the speed of elimination does not change with drug concentration. The same amount is removed per unit time regardless of how much drug is present, indicating that the elimination pathway is already working at its maximum capacity and is therefore saturated. The clinical significance of elimination kinetics is extremely important because it directly affects drug dosing, safety, and toxicity. In first-order kinetics, because elimination is proportional to drug concentration and the pathway is not saturated, drugs behave in a predictable manner. The half-life is constant, so clinicians can easily estimate how long a drug will stay in the body, how frequently it should be given, and how long it will take to reach steady state or be eliminated. This is why most drugs follow first-order kinetics and are generally safer to dose. In contrast, zero-order kinetics has major clinical implications. Since the elimination pathway is saturated and only a fixed amount of drug is removed per unit time, small increases in dose can cause a large rise in drug concentration. The half-life is not constant, making drug levels unpredictable. As a result, these drugs carry a higher risk of toxicity, especially if dosing is increased or liver function is impaired. Classic examples include ethanol, phenytoin, and aspirin at high doses. Clinically, this means first-order drugs are easier and safer to manage, whereas zero-order drugs require careful dosing, monitoring, and patient education to avoid toxicity.